Yo, I'm Colin.
I'm Narika.
And this is
The Bench. Welcome back to The Bench. How's it going?
Easy. How you doing?
I think I'm going to rent out your room so I can make money to go to the Women's World Cup in New
Why?
Zealand. You don't live here anymore.
I do what I want. What was that?
You don't live here anymore. I'm going to Airbnb out your room
Yeah,
and then...
well, when Narika's gone for 2 weeks to Durban on a random occasion.
Colin,
Yeah.
I go see our parents.
Okay. All right, sure.
So,
Sure.
how's it been going? What's been happening?
Work, life. I don't know. You?
Your beard's back.
It is back.
I feel like now I can actually look at your face.
Yeah, everybody says I'm back to normal now. So,
And it's still ginger, so you weren't dying it.
yeah, I think both fears have been called and I'm back to normal.
Yeah, like not having a beard isn't something you should do again.
Mm.
Like, genuinely. Do you think people... I've never seen, like, men get bald on their face. Do you like how you lose hair?
That's not a thing.
Like,
It's not a thing.
why is it not a thing?
Some men just can't grow beards. I think that's the version of it. But like you don't lose hair on your face.
Like, but imagine you wake up one day and just have, like, a patch.
Yeah, then there's like a serious problem.
It's gone.
Yeah.
But then how do you lose hair on your head?
Yeah, but you always had hair on your head. So, I guess
Oh, it's like
that.
the reverse.
Yeah.
The reverse of it. Anyway, back to some sport. There's a lot that's been happening even though we're on an international break. I realized I don't like international breaks.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels like there's no sport during international breaks. Like none of this is serious in a way. Like what does it really mean?
For football.
Like we love the tournaments, but like do we really like the build up to the tournament? Like nobody cares who's the top goal scorer leading up to the tournament. No, that's like does it really even matter? You know what I mean?
Specifically, it's an international break for football. This is your first time.
Yeah.
We do speak about football. We also speak about, Colin speaks about wrestling and the other sports that have been happening. Some history was made this past week, though, outside of football. The Proteas versus the West Indies. They started or kicked off their T20 series.
Bowled off.
Okay.
Bowled off. You said kicked off. I don't think it's kicked off.
Batted off.
Yeah, one of the two.
Batted off the T20 series. And history was made. I actually didn't watch the game.
Yeah, but it seemed like an exciting game. I mean, it was the record highest T20 score ever made by West Indies. And they fumbled it and allowed the Proteas to win.
So they set the highest record, and then the Proteas came through and was like, we're going to do one better than you.
Yeah, like beat them and then set. It was the highest chasing record.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, but I think South Africa also has this ODI record also against the West Indies.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I like the West Indies though, hey?
Always entertaining.
I love the cricket they play. Guys are with their diamond earrings, gold chains out. There's a smile on someone's face. It's just a vibey time. I think those are just naturally the demeanor of people from the Caribbean, which is really good. But someone set a record.
Yeah, Quincy set a record. I think he was like 144 balls. So well done. Other than that, I mean, like Reza made like 68 off like something crazy as well. So like, guys batted well.
I'm gonna actually reserve my comment because it is a World Cup year, and I feel like we're getting set up to be brought back down. That's if the Proteas even go to the World Cup. Like, I don't want to talk about it, but yeah. So that has happened. And talking about the Proteas, Cricket South Africa won the National Federation of the Year award at the South African Sports Awards.
Is that because of the momentum protest?
It was apparently because of the way the journalist put it. They turn around with administration in 2022.
Like voucher out and like new coaches in and like reform and like old players out, like that whole kind of thing.
I guess so.
Maybe, yeah.
And then the momentum protest as well, because we hosted a women's cricket, a T20 World Cup, so they won it. But it was the SA Sports Awards. I was watching it through my Instagram, and I was like, I really want to get invited.
But you're not a sportsman.
No, it's the SA Sports Awards, and we speak about sports. And also, I watch South African sports. So, by that logic, I should be invited.
We should be invited.
You wouldn't go.
I would definitely go.
Okay, then we should be invited. I'm going to start pushing my agenda to get invited for next year's one, for 2024. But The swimmers were up. So sportsmen of the year and sportswomen of the year both went to swimmers. It went to Laura van Niekerk and Peter Kutia. I don't think I follow swimming as much as I used to when I was a kid.
I never followed it like that also as a kid. I just know Olympics. Other than that, like what else are you swimming for?
Yeah, was Ryan Skuman? No, Roland Skuman.
Roland Scruman and Rick Neatley.
And Rick Needling.
Yes.
Oh, and then I think in my matric year, Chad Leclos.
Yeah.
But that's because his coach lived across our parents. And then we also got to meet Chad Leclos, and he's the same age as me. But yeah, so swimmers are up. And I guess we'll see the swimmers at the not the World Cup, at the Olympics in Paris 2024.
Damn, that's next year.
That is next year. I was telling someone about that. But then South African footballer who was nominated for award, Andile Sticks Lamini won Sports Star of the Year. If you watch the clip, there's someone standing in the background with this huge check for $500,000.
For her?
I was gonna say half a bar.
That's insane.
Is that 500,000? Half a bar.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So she also wins 500,000 for it.
Insane.
But she won it, I think. But she's been a superstar.
Yeah, I mean she won the AFCON last year.
And it's just been on the rise, which is great.
Yeah, I guess she's been the personality of Banana, so well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved. And then talking about Banana, bro, do you know how far Vosloorus is?
I've never been.
I've also but now I've been.
Oh, okay.
So it was the FIFA Women's World Cup trophy tour, and they brought the trophy to South Africa. It was in Johannesburg for 2 days, at Shapa Soweto, and then Chris Hani Moore at Vosloorus. I wanted to go to Shapa Soweto because it's much closer, and I go to Soweto all the time to watch football.
Okay.
But then work had me in a chokehold, and people kept on adding meetings. So then I took an extended lunch break, and I drove to Vosloorus, which is very far.
But didn't you know that? Don't you GPS before you go?
I did, and it said like 40-something minutes, and I was like, okay, but you're also driving on a highway, right?
That's far. I don't care where you go.
And then I stepped out at Chris Hani Moore, and someone called me a white person, and I was like, what? But I did get to see the trophy.
That's cool.
Which was really, really cool and really exciting. And I think it's used as an inspiring moment to inspire like the youth to play sports and be proud of your national team. They also had a whole bunch of like OG footballers
over there.
Yeah, but I was like, you should have gotten like OG Banana footballers to come and
I guess it's still football.
and speak. But yeah, it was a good thing I went. I saw the trophy. I took a picture, and then as soon as you go there, the guards are like, "Don't touch it." And I was like, I wasn't going to touch it. Like, don't touch it. And I was like, okay, so now I have a very awkward picture. I'm like, and then ran away, and then I had to drive all the way back out of Vosloorus. Do you know where Vosloorus is?
I don't know. I just know it's like in Gauteng, barely, like outskirts.
Yeah, it's like past Germiston and Alberton. It's like really, really far. But they did the tour, which is really exciting. And Coach Desiree Ellis was there, and a former Banana player was there. Mama Joy obviously was there. Mama Joy asked me if I was going to New Zealand.
What did you tell her?
We connected in Morocco. And then I looked at her in her eyes and I said, with what money?
And what did she say?
She says, but you must come. And I was like,
how?
With what money? And then she goes, never mind. Maybe next time. Well, she low-key said that. And I was like, in my eyes, when I was looking at her, I was like, speak to your people.
Let them know.
Tell the Minister of Sports and Recreation and Danny O'Donnell-Zafa to also send me with you to New Zealand. So she's going for the whole World Cup. She was also in Qatar, so kind of...
Vibes. I mean, she was a good omen at the AFCON. So
I thought I was the good omen at the AFCON.
Okay.
I was there from the first game. And they won. Every game I attended.
Hey, I'm not saying anything.
Okay, fine. But then Coach Desiree Ellis also announced a preliminary 32-woman squad. And Banana are going to be playing against Serbia in preparation for the World Cup on the 10th of April. A lot of names that we speak about. But you know what? But I'm talking about Banana because I want to speak about joyful things. Right? I want to be happy. Because their counterparts Bafana had to play in an African Cup of Nations qualifier at home against Liberia.
Should have been an easy game.
We are ranked, what?
67.
60, I was going to say 56.
No.
67, so in the top 100. Okay. Liberia are ranked 115.
Yeah.
Do the math.
That's towards the end of the rankings.
Yes. So I went to the game. Shout out Mama Joy for giving me free tickets. That was fun. So I went to the game by myself at Orlando Stadium. It was kind of empty when I first got there though. And I expected more people to come through.
Yeah.
But then I realized the game kicks off at 6. If you are knocking off work at 5:30, you're at least spending 45 minutes in Joburg traffic.
And a week there.
On a Friday.
Yeah.
Getting into Soweto, into Orlando Stadium. But I went to Orlando Stadium. Eventually, I think within the first 15 minutes, like that lower tier started like filling up quite nicely, which was really dope. My boy Lyle, because now we boys like that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I saw him in real life. I'm gonna get a Burnley shirt.
Is it? You saw him in real life?
With his name on it. I did see him in real life because I was at the game.
Like speak to him or?
No, I didn't speak to him.
That doesn't really count. Okay, but
I was at the game. I saw Lyle. I'm gonna get a Burnley shirt with 4-star on the back. What did you think about the game though?
I was checking the scores online. I didn't watch the game because I thought it would be one of those like easy games where like Banfana Bafana will win like 4-0 and it's like, like should just be what process of elimination or just like by the way games. We were winning 2-0. I was like, okay, game done. Then next thing I know, I check score again. It's 2-1. I was like, eh. And then I check 2-2, Bafana shot crow, and I was like, okay.
Okay, so the first goal was a penalty awarded to us.
Yeah.
Lyle, and I think it was Percy, had a little conversation about it. And then Lyle stepped up to the spot, scored the pen. We go 1-0 up, right? Second goal, because now we're dominating. Now we're dominating Liberia. Hey, guys, the ball is moving smoothly through the midfield. It is just nice. Our back four, a little bit sus at times, but you know what? The midfield and our forwards had it on lockdown, and the combos were communicating. Second goal came off a corner. La Foster, it was the header, if I'm not mistaken. Second goal. We then scored a third goal, but it was disallowed.
Wow.
It was disallowed because of I think it had a hand. There's no replays at the stadium.
How did they know this?
There's no replays so Percy scored the third goal. We were meant to be 3-0 up. And then I think it wasn't offside. I think it hits a player's hand.
Okay.
So a Bafana player's hand. Next thing you know, now the stadium's up, eh? Everyone's up, everyone's singing, everyone's like, Bafana, we're about to qualify for the African Cup of Nations behind Morocco.
Yeah.
Because we're in a group with Liberia and Morocco, the three of us.
And Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe playing.
Yeah, but Zimbabwe.
Okay. And now Morocco they're up there. They got all their points, basically qualified. And all we needed to do was beat Liberia. 2-1. And I'm like, hold up a minute. 2-2. Did the stadium not want to empty? And I'm pretty sure they started booing the players.
Sure, man.
But the Liberia players were like, they were
celebrating.
They were celebrating.
Yeah.
Also, I think it was, which I can't remember. It was the first or second goal from Liberia. Honestly, you can't deny that goal. That goal was a firecracker. I ain't gonna lie. It went in. And they had like gang amounts of support.
Shout out to them. I mean, Liberia is not like known. I mean, you're ranked 150 in the world.
Yeah.
Not really known as a footballing nation. And like to come all the way to South Africa and get a result at the end of the day. Big ups.
Yeah. So then we drew, but we conceded the goals once we started making subs.
Where like just upset the whole rhythm of the team.
Yes. So I'm just gonna put this out there. We missed sitters.
Yeah.
Percy and Tlongwa missed sitters, we should have been like 4 or 5 goals up. Okay. As soon as Timber got taken off the field,
everything just fell apart.
It was shaky times. And I'm gonna say this now. Timbazwana is the best player in South Africa at this time. The best guy in the midfield. It's just The
Yeah.
way he thinks and the way he moves is insane.
And I think he's getting better with age, which is crazy.
It's like Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, he's like 33, so it's like Modric vibes.
Modric was just like
Yeah,
getting
just
better.
like you think they're about to retire, and then all of a sudden it's just like you get better every single year. So
Everything about like the way the team started was exciting.
yeah,
Someone who didn't do too well, in my personal opinion, when they came on, was Saling.
yeah, man. I feel like it's just pressure also.
Oh, because he's doing so well.
Yeah, and it's like one or two still Bafana Bafana appearances. He still has to find his legs on the international level. It's different to playing like in the league. So
because we went 2-1. I think he came on after we conceded a goal and people were expecting a lot from
yeah,
him.
like more.
You also, like at Orlando
Yeah.
Stadium, like, people want to see more and
It's your home ground basically. Yeah.
they didn't. But yeah, we bottled the 2-2 goals. Post-match conference, Hugo Broos did not pitch up.
Yeah. He was done, eh?
He sent out Hellman.
Yeah, he was done. He was like, I'm not. He just stormed down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Literally wasn't having it. So
Because we shouldn't have conceded any of those goals.
Mhm.
And then I was like, honestly, when I look at the team, it's the back four that I'm not convinced.
yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, like all our superstars are in the midfield and then like attacking, and then like the back four is always a new back four every single Bafana game that we play. Like there's not like if you could name four of the best defenders in the league, like there's people behind them that are like could just
Because
substitute
Rushan
them.
normally makes that.
Yeah,
It's
so
actually
like
constantly changing.
there's always people that could just like, oh, if I take you out, it's not like we're missing, a
Yeah.
star player at the back. It's like we can just place whoever we want. In a way, it's good, but like in this sense, I think it's kind of bad, which means that we don't really have that quality.
True, but like attacking, like it was exciting to see Lau Foster play. Exciting to see Percy. At some point, I was like, Percy looks a bit tired. He's not making the right calls. Obviously, Timber's on it, who I think is now my favorite player currently in South Africa. And then let us not glaze over Luke Leroux.
Player.
Basic football and to do it perfectly.
Yeah. I think him and Sitole, when Bruce used to play, the both of them in the midfield were a good pair, but then they were also like both too defensive.
Yeah.
So in this game, I think he played Mokoena and Leroux in the midfield. So it was like one box to box and then like one sitting. So it was kind of like a
receive the ball, pass it.
Yeah.
His ability to like trap 1-2, keep it simple,
Yeah.
doesn't try to do fancy things. What an amazing player.
Yeah.
And he's kind of young as
He's
well.
very young. I mean, he's like 23, 24, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he's out there playing in Sweden.
Yeah.
So like, to come all the way back.
In Sweden.
Yeah, he's coming back all the way back in South Africa and like proving his worth on the international level.
It was so exciting to watch him. But yeah, back to the post-match conference. There's a video that was circulating on social media where like all the reporters were like, we want Bruce. Hellman is like, but I'm here. Do you know when you go visit a friend?
Yeah.
And now, like, the family is fighting, but you there.
Oh, you're just there with your plate of food. And you're just like, yeah, hey, that's...
You don't say anything. You don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You can't leave because you're underage. You don't know how to drive. You've been left over for the sleep.
Yeah.
You've been left there for the sleepover. Family is fighting. Your friend is shouting at like the mom. The dad is... Everyone is just shouting at each other. And you're just like...
Pretend like nothing's happening.
Can I get extra salt for my food? That is what was happening. I think there was... I think she's the media officer for Bafana, but telling the reporters... Hellman is here to speak. And the reporters are like, no, we want Hugo must come through and answer for his sins and his crimes. Not that he did anything wrong.
Yeah.
And then I think eventually he came through. He wasn't there for too long.
Yeah, I mean, he just said that he can't speak because he's just too angry, which is understandable. I mean, as a coach, put in all the effort and stuff. I feel like the players would have felt the same way also. So it's a tough one all around.
And then only once we got over that do we start noticing the tablecloth they used.
Wow.
Did you see the tablecloth?
No, I didn't.
It was like those silver-ish tablecloths with like this paisley swirls on it. Something you see at your like grand's house.
Your grand's house.
Yeah. Oh, the only thing that was missing was the doilies to put the mic on.
See, this is why Safa was not awarded as CSA one. Those reasons over there. Why, guys? Why?
We were distracted until we weren't, and then we noticed the tablecloth. You know the best thing about South Africa? We find humor in the worst of
In our
times.
sorrows, yeah.
But now Bafana travel to Liberia, and they have to win
It's a must win.
if we want to go to the African Cup of Nations.
It's a must win.
And we also want to go to the African Cup of Nations to watch our team play in it.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a must win. I wonder if I would have loved to be in that dressing room after
Post
the game.
match. Oh, I wouldn't have. I feel like it would have been like the most sour atmosphere.
Who do you think would have been angry? Do you think
Everybody.
do you think the star boy players like Percy, Lyle, Timber, who started the game and then got subbed off with a 2-0 lead, would have been mad?
Not really. I feel like at the end of the day, you select 23, 24 guys in the team, to do a job regardless. So whoever you're putting on the pitch should be able to see the game out, and they failed. So I guess you go to Liberia and you come back with 3 points. So
we have to.
That's redemption.
There's literally no other option.
Yeah.
We have to, because we really want to go to the African Cup of Nations. But that is all. It's still an international break. As we said, Bafana are going to Liberia to hopefully bring us back 3 points.
Yeah.
Like, we really need those 3 points. And if you ever get sad, I woke up the next day mad. I woke up the day after that mad. When I think about it, I'm still mad because I was there live and I saw things just fall apart. All things fall apart at some point. But they go to Liberia to play in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. It's a must-win if the boys want to end up at the next African Cup of Nations. But if you do get angry and sad like me, just go on the internet or go onto our page on social media and just go look at our content from Banfana winning AFCON to remind yourself there's hope and there's joy in the world, even when you feel like there isn't.
True.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment on the video. What did you think about Bafana's performance? And is Timber Zwane the best player in South Africa right now? His Namibian teammate for Sundowns played in the African Cup of Nations with Namibia, and Shasha was doing the things out there. So could South Africa also do the things to get us to the next African Cup of Nations? Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social medias at The Bench SA on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter. It's all love. Until next time, bye.